My name is Amado Cruz, and you might be wondering, can I use ChatGPT for learning? Yes, and this is one of my favorite use cases for ChatGPT because it has such a broad base of knowledge, and the conversational approach makes it really easy to dive into a subject, ask clarifying questions, and learn a lot more. And with the ability for ChatGPT to search, you can click on links to read up even deeper on your topics. The first thing I want to show you is a technique called the master student prompt, where you tell ChatGPT it's the master of a subject and you are the student. And ChatGPT is going to start by explaining the subject at a high level, quiz your understanding, analyze your responses, and then, depending on your response, clarify further with additional context and information. It'll then ask you another quiz question. It's basically an iterative teacher student framework where ChatGPT is continuously teaching you about a subject deeper and deeper, analyzing your understanding to tailor and personalize its answers to your current level of comprehension. So, if you're confused about a particular topic, ChatGPT will detect that, infer it from your response, and then provide additional information to help solidify your understanding. Here's the prompt. It's pretty long, and the only thing you need to change is the subject here in the top brackets, and you can replace it with any topic or subject you want to learn. Let's say you're master of AI. Okay, go ahead and hit enter, and you'll see the full prompt. The prompt works as you tell ChatGPT what it's a master in, that it's tasked with teaching a student until the student also achieves mastery. So, ChatGPT explains the subject to you, quizzes you, analyzes your responses, provides clarification, asks follow up questions until you, the student, demonstrate a thorough understanding of the topic. It begins by providing a clear explanation of the subject, including key concepts and fundamental principles. After that initial explanation, it poses a quiz question to the student. While analyzing your response, ChatGPT is going to look at the accuracy of your answer, the depth of understanding demonstrated, any gaps in knowledge, and based on that analysis, ChatGPT will provide further feedback tailored and personalized to where you're currently at. This instructs ChatGPT to ask further follow up questions to probe your understanding and address any areas of weakness. And it goes on, continuing the process of analyzing responses, providing feedback, and asking follow up questions. Remember, I put in the subject AI, and now ChatGPT is starting by explaining a foundational topic in artificial intelligence, machine learning. It explains the key concepts and the principle. It's a subset of AI focused on training machines with data, and there are different types of machine learning: supervised, unsupervised, reinforcement learning. Now that we've covered the basics, let's test your understanding. Describe the difference between supervised and unsupervised learning. Give them an example of a task suitable for each type of learning. As an example, let's say we get one part of the question right and the other part is a little weak. Let's say supervised learning involves labeled training data. Example, training a machine learning model to detect email spam involves supervised learning by feeding it in lots of labeled examples of spam emails and non-spam emails. And then, for unsupervised learning involves no labeled training data, but I don't get how it's used in real world settings. You can type anything, honestly. ChatGPT actually recognized that we did a good job explaining supervised learning, correctly identifying it. Your example of spam detection is spot on. Regarding unsupervised learning, it then expands with more information. Since I said I wasn't sure how unsupervised learning is used in the real world settings, it gave me three examples: customer segmentation, anomaly detection, dimensional reduction. You see here, what ChatGPT is analyzed my answer, reinforced what I got correct, my answer about the supervised learning, and then provided additional clarification and context on the part I didn't get correct, unsupervised learning. Then it asks a further follow up question to dive deeper. Can you explain why customer segmentation, which is one of the examples I gave here, is a good fit for unsupervised learning? A really cool thing with this prompt is that you just keep going and going, and you can take it in any direction you want. Let's say your background is in business, and this use case around customer segmentation is really interesting to you, you can just keep talking about customer segmentation and asking it questions about it, and ChatGPT will adapt. It'll analyze what you're understanding correctly, analyze if you're asking any clarifying questions, and try to provide helpful responses. It's just a really fun, interactive Q&A to learn any subject. And of course, if you want to add sources to each of ChatGPT's answers, make sure you turn on Search the Web here. Another way you can use ChatGPT for learning is by using it to help you make flashcards. Flashcards are a really neat tool because they help you reinforce key information. Here's a prompt. I want you to help me create a set of flashcards for learning and retaining information on a specific topic. That's the only place you have to change. So let's say we want to learn about TikTok social media growth. Let's also turn on Search the Web so that we could have sources for all the information that ChatGPT provides. Click Enter, and here's the prompt. It's asking ChatGPT to organize flashcards in a Q&A format. Create cards with questions and answers that cover the main concepts, key terms, and essential facts. Divide the flashcards into basic, intermediate, and advanced. Use clear, straightforward language. Highlight any commonly confused concepts for challenging terms. Include follow-up cards that rephrase the concept. Structure the questions to encourage spaced repetition, which is a way to optimize your learning. Here's a structured set of flashcards designed to help you and learn and retain information on TikTok social media growth strategies. Basic questions. What is TikTok? What is the For You page? It's the main feed where the platform's algorithm curates videos. What's a hashtag challenge? Intermediate level. How does TikTok's algorithm determine which video appears on the user's For You page? What's the significance of trending sounds? How can brands utilize branded effects? Advanced level. Why is authenticity important? How can brands leverage TikTok duets? How does TikTok's algorithm impact virality and brand exposure? Explain de-influencing and its relevance to TikTok marketing. Let's say you're brand new to TikTok and know nothing about it. This is really neat because ChatGPT basically took a topic and broke it down into all of these different Q&A segments, beginner, intermediate, advanced, and you can imagine importing this into a flashcard system like Anki. Let's say you're in high school studying for an exam like high school biology, specifically mitochondria, which is one of the only things I remember from high school biology. Basic flashcards. What is the primary function of the mitochondria? Remember, it generates energies for the cell. Why are they called the powerhouse of the cell? Where are they found? What does ATP stand for? Intermediate flashcards. How do mitochondria contribute to respiration? How do they regulate metabolism? What's the relationship between mitochondria and chloroplasts in plant cells? Advanced flashcards. Why does the inner membrane of mitochondria have a higher protein content than the outer membrane? Explain the electron transport chain. You can use this literally for any topic and learn through this kind of Q&A flashcards. Let's say you have a bunch of study material already from your classes or your work, and instead of just putting the topic here, you can feed all that information into ChatGPT. For example, say, retaining information on provided sources, and then at the very end say something like sources in an XML tag. This helps ChatGPT figure out what you're referencing when you say sources. And I would just paste the information here that you're trying to learn from school. You can also upload a PDF and say refer to the uploaded PDF. You can very much tailor this prompt to the information you have at hand so that ChatGPT focuses specifically on helping you memorize the information you need for your upcoming test, exam, or whatever it is. So, to wrap up, we covered 2 ways to use ChatGPT for learning: the master student prompt and creating flashcards for Q&A. If you found this helpful, hit that like button and subscribe for more AI content. Again, my name is Amado Cruz. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you at the next one.